yourself, sorry, mute yourself if the question is done. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
it has one projector that project light pattern. The light pattern will strike on the object. It reflects back. The reflection will be captured by the cameras, or we can say sensor here, in one geometrical camera, one color camera, and there is some background noise. Can you just unmute to mute yourself? Okay. The reflection will be captured by the sensor, and those sensor will generate a point in the software. So it is very similar to how our eyes works. Whatever is visible, wherever light can go and reflect back, only those area will be captured, and nothing else. This is not like CT scan. I'll explain about in very first. This is very different than this CT scan. This CT scan works in the penetration process. Here, this works in the reflection process. So it projects the whole light pattern that strikes on the object, reflects, and reflection will be captured by the like there are two kinds of reflection we get. We get the geometrical reflection. We get color reflection. So geometrical reflection will be captured geometrical camera, and camera will capture the color information. Those information in will be in point format in the point cloud in the software, and in the process, once we are done with the data acquisition, we combine all those points together to generate a point cloud or STL file format. You understood? Got the point?
Yes, I got the point. So
Yeah.
it means it only takes the measurement of the surface, not
Yes.
the bulk
Yes.
bulk measurement,
Ex-
right? Okay.
Exactly. So whatever is visible, we can only get the dimension of those area. I mean, suppose if you talk about air, so it will not be able to, capture the inside the structure of the air. It can only give you the outer structure of the air.
Yeah, okay,
Uh,
okay, got
uh,
it.
okay.
Yeah,
Or any more
hello.
question to have? Yes, sir.
Yeah, hello. Yeah. So, sir,
Yes, sir. Agree.
yeah. So I'm telling that suppose here you are telling the 3D scanner and you can scan some object and you can actually take the modify it into take it into digital model and then convert into STL file, right? So, but if you if I want to make some 3D printing object, suppose just by giving the data, suppose I want to make some object for research, okay, for a scaffold I want to make. So
Hmm?
how do I make? Then I have to give the parameter into the software, right? Directly.
Basically, you are asking what I understood is you want to 3D print something, and you're asking the design for 3D print, right? Model
Right,
for
right,
3D
right,
printing.
right. Yeah,
Okay, so there are two ways to do that. 3D printer is very similar to how a 2D printer is. Okay, I mean for 2D printer, what you need? I mean to get the print output, you need a digital copy, right?
right,
You need either a Word file or a PDF file or a picture. You need something in your system, right? A
right,
digital copy.
right,
Similarly, we also need some digital design in for the 3D printer to print. Now that design can be achieved in two ways. One is either uh, you can have one design software. There are multiple design software in the market, or you must be aware about some of them. There are CAD software. There are software like engineering software. There are non-engineering software. So there are multiple software. Those software will help you to design something, and that once the design is ready, you can directly give it for 3D printing. That is one way. Second way is there is some existing shape you want to print. Suppose you want to print again a structure of hand, or specific hand, or structure of a human face,
right.
and anything whatever
And it's
already
essentially
there.
static object, right? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So in that case, what we can do is we can use this 3D scanner. This 3D scanner basically eliminates the process of design. This gives you a file that called STL file. This STL file will be, I mean, the output of this 3D scanner will be input for 3D printing machine. So this will eliminate the process for designer. Yeah, I mean, in terms of basically what designer is doing is he's digitizing the physical shape. Right? So and the scanner is doing the same thing.
Right, right. So,
Yes.
suppose that
Sir,
the
excuse me.
speaker.
Can you please ask query after the talk is over so that the speaker can complete the talk?
Okay, right. No
Basically, your
problem.
enthusiasm, you're asking to good, very good questions. But if you can write in the chat box and kindly ask after the talk is over, please.
Okay,
Yes.
Because
So
we
that
have other speakers also lined up for today.
yes, what happens is because most most of the question will be answered once I finish this. I mean, this will my presentation will cover most of your answer the questions. So I guess your question will be automatically answered during this presentation.
okay, okay. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem, no problem. I mean, you can ask if your query is not asked, not answered. You can really ask. Okay, so let's moving ahead. Let me just explain you about a little bit how 3D scanner, what 3D scanner we use for medical application. There's one of the equipment called Artex Space Spider. This is, I mean, there are different technology involved in 3D scanning. Now, how we differ different technologies? It is just simple. It is simply the light we use for projection, that is called, I mean, that is way we differ different technologies. So there are blue light technology, there are white light technology, there are laser based technology. Whatever kind of light you project, that becomes different technology. The one right now on this, the space spider I'm talking about, this has been originally designed for NASA, where they use it for International Space Center to digitize the part, and then use it for 3D printing directly. A good thing is all our Artex scanner can capture the color information. I mean, suppose you need the different color, because in medical you might come across some of the application where you need color of the object, so that you can plan your things accordingly. And Artex scanner helps you in that case. We get the actual color of application, the object we are scanning, and then further use for multiplication. Like this is the kind of geometry you get. Again, not a picture. This is a geometrical information plus STL data of object. And similarly, we can get the color of, like this is the actual color of the object, the human face we have. So you understand, right? This is not just the color image I'm showing you. This is geometrical information. If I want, I can get the dimension of, sorry, this nose from here, this particular point to this particular point. I can have the image from here to here. Sorry, dimension from one specific point to another specific point. Let me just show you one small uh, video that explains you about the working of this scan. You're able to hear the voice? Hello?
No, we can't
Yes.
hear the voice.
Okay, no problem. Let me just give you a voice over then. So this is the way how 3D scanning is done. Uh, so you see, this is the kind of scanner we'll be getting. This is called Artec EVA. The scanner name is Artec EVA, and it got two wire connection here. One is USB connection that basically, because the scanner doesn't have any storage device, so it can't store anything. Okay, so it can't store anything. Whatever it captures, it need a hardware to transfer the data. So there is one USB connection and there is one power connection. Power connection in terms of to run the equipment, you need a power connection, power source. There are two ways to get the power. One is you can directly connect the power connection. There is one power cable that can be directly connected. Second is there is one separate battery, like power bank, it comes along with, and that the power bank will be used as a power source for scanning. Okay. So how this with 3D scanning work is you first collect the images from all possible angles. That's what they did it. They use two scanners so that they can do it much faster. And they collected the image like this is right now you see in the system. That is the raw data. That is like a combination of all the frames, different images from all possible angles together. That is how it looks like. And then this is the 3D printed model uh, the, in the real size. Now, the scan data basically, this scan data is having the actual dimension of the face of person we are scanning, or for that matter, all the dimension. Uh, that's how the 3D scan data is, and this right now in your skin is a 3D printing process. I mean, this print by layer by layer. I mean, there will be different sessions for completely to explain you about 3D printing anyway. So there are so many applications here. Let me just quickly walk through few of the application we address with 3D scanning. Now what happens is, and this was one of the application where we use our 3D printing, 3D scanning and 3D printing for medical application. Where uh, this was for Maulana Azad Dental College. Okay, this is one of the college in Delhi. What we did there is there are a lot of newborn which they will be born with not so proper. What happens with these kids? I mean, because you all are doctors, so you must be knowing it. These kids are, born with like this, and these go with. I mean, these kids go through multiple surgeries till a certain age. Now, basically, what happens is doctor doesn't have any, database to understand the evolution of muscle growth. What I mean is, suppose they did one surgery and there is no particular way to understand what kind of muscle growth this kid is having. I know on the left side is growing much faster, is or right side is growing much faster, or what kind of facial muscle growth is occurring in different kid. So to understand that we use 3D scanner. We use 3D scanner to digitize the face of the kid, and they doctor use it before every surgery they use it, and after every surgery they use it. Basically, they have a database to understand in that case, okay, how this I mean how each and every kid is the muscles is growing. So before, I mean, what I mean say, suppose they are going for a third surgery. Before going for third surgery, they can have understanding how the muscles are going first and second surgery. What is the impact of the first and second surgery? They have a clear data for those surgery, on what kind of evaluation of muscles is happening on the kid. And moreover, this data can be used for creating a mold, because otherwise the process is, you put inside some gum inside the face of baby, and then you get the mold out of those rubber silicon material. What type of rays to use it is scanning. Okay, as I explained, these are like simple LED. Okay, let me just see the question. This was the question, right? Question was, what type of rays are used for 3D scanning? Are they harmful for cell if they get highly concentrated? No, this is simply LED based scanner. So whatever we see, whatever the LED we use in our daily life, the similar LED will be used for projection of light pattern. This is completely safe. The video I show you scanning Barack Obama, the objective of that video was simply to make you, compatible with the rays of scanner only. That was the only application because it has been used to scan Barack Obama. Okay, so yeah, this was one of the case where we use it for data analysis to understand the post and after surgery effect and to get the dimension for mold. Okay, this kind of application you can address, and this is the kind of impact the surgery have. So this 3D scanner will be used as a helping tool, as a pre and post surgery evaluation or understanding. Similarly, let me just show you a small video of how 3D scanning will be used for orthopedics. You're not able to hear the voice, right? No. Okay, so
You are audible.
oh, okay, video, right? No, no problem. So I mean, you can see there are so many different orthosis application where customized fit, customized have body gears has been made. Now this 3D scanner basically is being used to understand. Want to see it again? Video? Okay. So this is the kind of what I was explaining is the 3D scanner becomes a tool to digitize the shape of the body because in the orthopedics definitely you would be knowing it. The shape of the human bodies, every human body is different. So when we say customized uh, body gear, it has to be customized. So I mean, every time you need a different dimension. In that case, what happens is we need the actual dimension of the patient every time we are creating a prosthetic, like hand gear or foot gear or any body gear. Then we need equipment which can basically create a digital shape to work on. That's how the 3D scanner comes in picture. We can use it for so many applications, not only the creating prosthetic or this is the kind of application before surgery and after surgery is scanning it and then understanding what kind of impact it got because of the surgery and how the next surgery will be planned. This is the application where the kid got one artificial or prosthetic ear. I did have this case study in detail for further slides. And how much time we have, sir? We have enough time, right? I was being told
Sir, you have 5 more minutes, sir.
Okay, just quickly let me go through a few of the case studies. Okay, this was one case study where we used for customized ear gear, where we put some of the silicons inside the ear to get the internal structure of the ear, and we 3D scan that ear mold, silicon mold, and similarly we scan, the air from outside. We combine both of the data and have proper understanding of how the air will shape is from inside and the outside. And similarly, using both the data, we create a customized, headphone, you can say, for the patient. Similarly, this was a case where we created a prosthetic leg cover because this customer was in Bangalore and he you have been to Bangalore ever, you know you're doing the rainy season there, because there's no rainy season there. All the month, all the 12 month is rainy season there in Bangalore. So the rain is like very unpredictable. So this customer was very cautious about the battery life of the the prosthetic. So we created a prosthetic cover, so the fit cover with the help of 3D scanning and 3D printing. And this was one of the case study where the patient was suffering from cancer, and the doctor had to remove the eye. That was the only way to survive. So we 3D scan the face. In that case, we 3D scan the face, and by scanning, we got all the information about geometrical information about the body, the face, and because I told you in the very beginning, like we have information. Our scanner can capture the color detail also. So we got geometrical information plus color information, and like that we have 3D printers which can print in almost 36,000 color, and this is the printed prosthetic that can be used directly with the body. So this was the for LV Prasad Hyderabad. If anyone of you know, one of the very premium hospital for eyes in India. Okay, I guess these are. So yeah, this is roughly from my side. I guess we don't have too much of time, so I can quickly, if you guys have any questions, you can quickly try to answer those. So let me.
Thank you for such nice talk. There is one question here, that is there any standard distance from which we should scan any marker points?
Yes.
Any error for traveling hands?
Yes. So basically it has a. Can you just mute yourself, sir? Okay. So yes, it has a certain distance. It got a certain distance. That is distance. For different scanner, the distance is different. So every scanner comes with one definite range. It means there is certain range the scanner works. It doesn't require any marker. It can freely scan. You just need to be in that specific range. When I say range, it means distance between object and scanner. That is specific range. Now, any marker point? No, it doesn't have any marker. It doesn't need any marker point. Any error from dribbling hands? No, it doesn't. It doesn't have uh, any like impact on accuracy because of hand movement. And can we have a DICOM format to STL? We can change DICOM into STL, but not in this software. There is separate software called Mimics, and then Materialize. There are different software to change DICOM into STL. But yes, technically that can be done, but not in scanning software. Can you tell me the name of CAD software easier to use or do not need much expertise for the researcher? Of CAD software, when you say, sir, like what exactly your application is, you can just a little bit of tell me, because there are so many software for so many applications. You tell me what you want to do with the CAD software.
Right. Suppose I want to do some novel 3D printing and I don't have such type of physical object. So I have there, and then I can design the physical digital model. So such type of software. Yeah.
There is one software called Blender. That is a free software. Okay. Or what I can do is, you have my mail ID. You can just drop me your mail. I can just share you some link if you need, or you can just note down my number also. So if you have any query, what I would not be able to answer, or you can just contact me on this. I can just quickly send you the details. Okay, our questions are there, I guess. Thinker card. Diffusion. Yeah, I guess your colleague himself is answering. So yes, there are so many software. Diffusion is good software.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Deepak, for such a nice speech and especially for clarifying the question of the participant. Now we would like to have the second speaker of the session, Dr. Kunal Linkara. Dr. Kunal is presently working as Associate Professor in the Division of Periodontics Center for Dental Education and Research. His main clinical thrust areas are non-surgical and surgical periodontal therapy, periodontal plastic surgery, soft and hard tissue regenerative procedures, restoration of partially dented and completely edentulous with simple anterior and posterior implants, multiple fixed anterior and posterior implants, and removable implants supported prosthesis in varied clinical situations involving soft and hard tissues, augmentation, soft and hard tissue dental laser applications. His main research interests are etiopathogenesis, diagnosis, and treatment of periodontal and peri-implant diseases, as well as advancement in the field of implant design and structure, implant surgical procedures, and laser-assisted periodontal treatment. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Kunal Thingara to present his speech on the topic 3D printing application in periodontal regeneration.
Good morning, Dr. Bharti, and thank you, madam, for your kind introduction.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Dr. Kunal.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually not able to share the screen. It's telling that you become the presenter before sharing content.
I think that they will give you the host thing to do.
Sorry, sir?
I think they will help you. Sasanka and Chiragji, can you give him the rights to present?
Yes, we are just giving the rights. We are just giving the rights. Could you please check once again?
Yes, sir.
Yes, there you go.
Are you able to see the screen, sir?
Yes, we are able to see your screen.
Okay, so today my topic for presentation is very specific related to 3D printing application in periodontal regeneration. So before I go to 3D printing, let me just brief you about what is periodontium. So basically it is the gums which surround the teeth and the underlying bone that comprises the periodontium, and there is something called as periodontal ligament in between. So basically it has four components, that is gingiva or the gums. Then there is cementum, which covers the root surface or the part of tooth which is hidden beneath the gums. Then there is periodontal ligament, which connects the cementum to the alveolar bone. And then of course the alveolar bone, which surrounds the teeth and gives it the support. So this is how the normal periodontium appears, and this is what the disease we are dealing with, that is called as periodontitis, or in common terms in layman language it is called as pyorrhea. So periodontitis is nothing but inflammation of the gums and the underlying bone, wherein the tooth shows mobility as well as the tooth may be even lost. And when you see clinically, so you can insert a small instrument deep down the gums, and also in the X-ray the lesion appears something like this. There is dark space in between the teeth, which is indicating that there is bone loss. And when you reflect the gums during surgery, you see the bone loss there. So this is how the space appears empty. So this particular regeneration is what we are attempting in my specialty, and this is called as periodontal regeneration. So tooth and its supporting tissues are organized with a complex 3D structure, including complex multi-layer periodontium and highly aligned periodontal ligament. Mimicking such 3D complexity and multicellular interactions naturally exist, which are existing in the dental structures, represent the great challenge in dental regeneration. So mimicking what nature has made is really a challenge for us. So conventional techniques like particle or porogen leaching, injection molding, and electrospinning, which is used to make scaffolds with various microporosities in the tissue engineering, fail to mimic the complexity of the dental anatomy structure and multicellular interactions. Therefore, the field of 3D printing has shown great promise and is driving major innovations in the regenerative dentistry. Reconstruction of a complex system of tooth and its supporting apparatus, that is periodontal ligament, alveolar bone, and cementum, has achieved great progress via 3D printed bioengineered scaffolds. Novel technologies have enabled the 3D printing of not only biocompatible materials but also living cells and supporting components into complex 3D functional tissues, and this is defined as bioprinting. So what exactly 3D printing? We have seen different kind of 3D printers available. Of course, this is also the topic in our event in this week. So I would describe what 3D printers does for bioprinting. So basically, we can simply classify 3D printers into three types, that is inkjet, extrusion type, and light assisted. So under extrusion, we have the fused deposition modeling printer, and one which is based on direct ink writing. And in light assisting, we have the laser melting as well as the direct light processing printer. So these are the printers which we commonly see. And but with regards to 3D printing of a tissue, what role they play and what is their efficacy? So we classify those parameters as gelation methods. What a printer, when a gel is put, a hydrogel, so it acts by chemical or photo cross-linking. In extrusion printers, the mechanism of action is chemical, photo cross-linking, shear thinning, and temperature. In light assisting, it is chemical and photo cross-linking, whereas in DLP printers, it is photo cross-linking. The print speed is medium in inkjet, in extrusion it is slow, and in light assisted it is medium fast to fast. The resolution on the droplet size varies from 1 pl to more than 300 pl in inkjet, and in extrusion to 500 microns, and in light assisted to less than 500 nanometers to even 1 micrometer. With regards to mechanical integrity, in inkjet printing, it is poor due to various interfaces. Again, extrusion, the mechanical integrity is poor. In light assisted, the mechanical integrity is again poor, whereas the best mechanical integrity is seen with the of excellent variety is seen with the DLP printers. With regards to stem cell viability or the cell viability that I will talk further, we see the best in the DLP printers, followed by inkjet and the extrusion. The cell density that we achieve with the printing in inkjet is very low. In extrusion, it is high, whereas in light assisted, it is of medium variety. And material viscosities range between 3.5 to 12 megapixel per second in inkjet, in extrusion to 30 megapixel, and in light assisted to around 300 megapixel. The printer cost is low in inkjet, and the best, because light assisted are the best, are supposed to be the highest price. So what we need to remember is how periodontal regeneration is achieved. So there are three components when we want to regenerate a periodontium. So you need to take assistance of cells, which are basically somatic stem cells like bone marrow or dental pluripotent stem cells. Then you need growth factors, that is recombinant human platelet-derived growth factors or bone morphogenic proteins or fibroblast growth factors. And then you also need scaffold. So scaffold is basically a support for the cells and the factors. So when these together, only then we can achieve tissue regeneration, any kind, and in particular periodontal regeneration. 3D printing plays a role is making scaffolds for us. So scaffolds can be of natural biomaterial. The naturally existing scaffolds are collagen, chitosan, and alginate, which are commonly used in lab experiments. But what 3D printing especially utilizes synthetic ones. So synthetic scaffold material commonly used is polycaprolactone or PCL. So it is the most commonly used material in medical devices. It is biocompatible, suitable to fabricate various scaffold technique, slow degeneration rate, and is mechanically stable. The maintenance of regenerated bone volume and its outcome is possible owing to slow degradation rate and mechanical stability of the particular material. And it is very experiment. The hydrophobic nature of PCL is responsible for the poor cell affinity and inferior responses. And this is a polylactic acid, polylactic co-glycolic acid, that is PLGA. So these are hydrophobic except PGA, which is hydrophilic, and they have higher degradation rates as compared to polycaprolactone. Next variety which we use for 3D printing utilizes bioceramics. So various bioceramics are calcium phosphate. So it consists of hydroxyapatite, tricalcium phosphate, that is alpha and beta, and biophasic calcium phosphate in the injectable form of semen materials which are easily moldable, easy to handle, and harden when left in place. This is an intimate adaptation of moldable calcium phosphate materials to complex defects, which is not possible with the conventional bone grafts. Next bioceramic is hydroxyapatite. It is the most popular material used in bone regeneration because it shows the same chemical composition of native bone minerals, which influences adhesion and osteoblast proliferation positively. The main disadvantage of hydroxyapatite is its prolonged degradation in the crystalline form, which impedes the complete bone formation and thus increasing the rise for infection and exposure in oral surgical situations. This disadvantage of crystalline hydroxyapatite form is overcome by the amorphous hydroxyapatite. The crystalline hydroxyapatite degradation can be modified by additions of natural polymers with faster kinetics. Next bioceramic material is beta tricalcium phosphate. The second commonly used material after calcium phosphate is beta tricalcium phosphate due to its faster rate of degradation and ability to form a strong calcium phosphate bond in the bone. Biphasic calcium phosphate is formed by combining the beta tricalcium phosphate with hydroxyapatite. The controlled bioactive and stability is the advantage, and there are significant advantages when large bone defect require bone in the growth in a controlled degradation rate, as the beta tricalcium phosphate is known to have higher rate of degradation than the hydroxyapatite but slower than the beta tricalcium phosphate. Next bioceramic is bioactive glass. So it is basically silicon oxide with calcium being substituted. A calcium phosphate larger is formed on the bioactive glass surface after getting exposed to body fluids, and this gets chemically bound to the bone. The synthetic bioglass, and specifically in intraoral applications, the commonly used material is bioglass. It has slower degradation rate as it sets to a converted hydroxyapatite-like material in internal physiologic situation. The mechanism of bioceramic degradation are in multiple ways, that is, dissolution physiochemically accompanied by possible phase transformation, multinucleated cell-mediated degradation, and mechanical fragmentation due to surface integrity loss by the above two mechanisms. Next, we also use metal, and from the 3D print. Metals can be 3D printed and they are used also for regeneration. The most commonly used material is titanium alloy. So it is commonly used based on the good biocompatibility, mechanical properties, and elasticity. But the disadvantage is non-degradability, which requires it to be removed. and this could affect the patient satisfaction and enhance the cost of healthcare. Next, metal which is used is magnesium and its alloy. It has good potential in bone regeneration, especially in orthopedics. There, the biodegradability is affected by corrosion, and the biocompatibility of degradation products doesn't involve adverse reaction in the surrounding tissues. There is no need for its retrieval through the second surgery, thus making it a popular material for scaffold construction. So, magnesium is osteoconductive and it increases expression of the osteogenic markers in vitro. The faster in vivo biodegradability of pure magnesium can be controlled by use of magnesium alloy or coated with titanium or ceramics. There is no bioactivity by this metal. Composite or hybrid scaffolds. So to incorporate the advantage and restriction of limitations of bare biomaterials, two or more materials are combined to produce synergistic effect so as to enhance the biological, mechanical, and scaffold degradation kinetics. The synergetic property can also stimulate the complex target bone tissue characteristics, which is otherwise not possible with single biomaterial. So composite scaffold for bone regeneration can be divided into polymer or ceramic metal and polymer metal combination. The polymer ceramic is the most commonly used in orthopedic field. Various composite scaffold maintain the shape of uniform bone and favor osteoblast attachment, proliferation, and its differentiation. The composite scaffold comprises of matrix which is less than 50% of total content and a filler which is a minor component. Now coming on to, after describing the materials, let me just discuss with you what animal studies have shown regarding periodontal regeneration and what all, which was the printer used, what was the biomaterial used for 3D printing, and what was the growth factor used. So as I described the periodontal regeneration triad, we are going to see the results. So a sandwich structure was obtained when 3D printed was done with the fused deposition method. The biomaterial was PLGA and the growth factors were human gingival fibroblast, and the model was PLGA structure was a 3D printed PLGA structure was used in an immunodeficient mice. So all this led to new bone formation, and if we wanted to generate the periodontal ligament fibers, therein many studies have shown using 3D printing that PCL is the most favored material, and it was used with the periodontal ligament stem cells. And of course, we landed up with 3D printed PCL scaffolds, which were implanted into the athymic rats or immunodeficient mice. And this led to either enhanced periodontal-like tissue orientation, which was demonstrated in fiber guarding scaffold. There was higher rate of cementing-like tissue deposited at the dentin cells sites, poor integration of the new ligament-like tissue with the bone compartment. We also observed increased frequency of cell sheet attachment, enhanced integration of the new periodontal ligament in the newly formed bone, and we also saw a very good result in the formation of bone, periodontal ligament, and cementum or dentin-like tissue in the various compartments, and inserting fiber orientation was observed. Now, these are, again, I'm going to discuss three studies which are published this year, wherein they use 3D printed scaffolds. So this particular study used 3D printed poly epsilon caprolactone hydroxyapatite calcium sulfate combination or a biocomposite scaffold, which was, and the growth factor was vascular endothelial growth factor. So when this combination was used, then it showed that it improved the regeneration of the rabbit's femur bone defect, and vascular endothelial growth factor loading improved the bone tissue regeneration and remineralization after implantation for 8 weeks. So all these results strongly imply the strategy of vascular endothelial growth factor being loaded onto scaffold, which can be a potential candidate for future bone tissue engineering. So we have lot of in vivo studies like this one. So herein they used a scaffold in the form of sodium alginate, gelatin, and nanohydroxide combination, which was made in a hydrogel format. And this was in fact called as a bioscaffold. And this was combined with the human periodontal ligament stem cells. And when this combination was used, it showed that it caused effective stimulation of cell survival, proliferation, and osteoblast differentiation, which is a must for bone formation. Therefore, the combination of sodium alginate gel and nanohydroxyapatite and the human periodontal ligament stem cell. So this bioscaffold displayed potential as a material for bone defect reconstruction.
Sorry, Kunal, to barge in. Your PPT is not visible. Could you please recheck?
I have not changed any setting.
We are unable to see your screen. Could you restart the screen share? Yes, now it is coming back. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yes, it is coming back.
So this particular study is it visible now? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, now it's visible, sir.
Yeah. So this particular study used a combination of hydroxyapatite and poly-L-lactic acid combination as a scaffold, and we used this combination again in a in vivo study, and this scaffold particularly showed that there was good osteoblast adhesion, spreading, and proliferation, suggesting that the scaffold provided a suitable environment for cell cultivation. So we wanted to check for bioactivity and osteoconductivity. So the study which was conducted in China showed that this particular 3D printed scaffold showed excellent bone defect repair capacity with the formation of abundant new bone tissue and bone vessel tissue, blood vessel tissue, and both the ends of the defect region were bridged after 8 weeks of implantation. So this is again I have put in a photograph wherein we can see how a 3D printed periodontium was achieved using a biphasic scaffold, which was made from electrospun fibers in the FDM. So we also, the authors also took a micro computed tomography of the biphasic osteoblast CT scaffolds 8 week post implantation, and we can see very well the bone formation which was achieved and also the periodontium which was achieved. So, but this is a in vivo study, and when we move on to patient studies, so we have very few of them, and I want to discuss or show to you one particular case report. So what with the 3D printing, how best we could achieve when it was directly done on patient. So with regards to patient, what are the steps we do if we have to do 3D, make a 3D printed scaffold? So a cone beam computed tomography scan of the defect size in the mouth is taken for to make digitized image dataset. Based on these images, a CAD or a computer aided design is utilized to design the defect fit. Fiber guarded scaffolds with specific oriented periodontal ligament fibers, geometry, as well as the wax mold are manufactured by the 3D printer, and poly epsilon caprolactone was cast in the mold, and 3 scaffold per mold was chosen to evaluate the adaptation ratio. So what we could achieve with this method, so this is a photograph which shows that you have a periodontal defect here. So this is a baseline photograph. We can see the gums have shifted down and the tooth root has got exposed. So it has also become too mobile. Now when this defect was opened, the flap was reflected, gums were reflected, and we could see the defect deep down. The bone is not here, there, present around the tooth, and there is a huge bone defect. So a 3D printed scaffold was created with the, you can see the fiber orientation which was mimicked here, periodontal ligament fibers. So this scaffold was 3D printed, and this was exactly custom fitted onto the defect here. So because how we could custom fit is because we took the scan, 3D scan, CBCT scan of this area. So we could make a customized scaffold for this area. And scaffold was placed, and now after placing and debriding this area, sutures were placed, the gums were again tried to shift up and placed. So this was left to healing, and this is the picture at 2 months post-operative. This is again excellent results which are seen at 6 months post-operative, and this is 1 year post-operative material. The picture, how from this situation we landed up here. So just with the application of a 3D printed scaffold, we could achieve so great results. But this was a case report which was published in 2015. So this is in brief what with periodontal regeneration. There are not many studies, but this is what 3D printing could do in periodontal regeneration. And I thank you very much for listening patiently. Hello. 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 Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I'm open to any questions.
Hi, excuse me, Professor. I'm Bruce from Taiwan. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, got one problem. You show some PCL polycaprolactone with ceramics, and I saw some clinical data. Is ready for human use or just for a clinical study?
Yes, these are all preclinical studies.
Oh, it's a clinical study, so use as a case report. Okay. A preclinical, okay.
Yeah, the clinical one is only in the last, that is a case report. After that, there has not been much publication because we need lot of preclinical data on the safety and efficacy of these kind of 3D printed scaffolds. So there have been, what I have projected are actually almost 90% of the data in vitro as well as in vivo in my today's presentation. So there has to be a lot of work done with 3D printing because to print them you need very costly 3D printers, and that is hampering a lot of research activities, especially in developing countries. So there has not been much publication. Whatever has been done could be achieved in West, especially in US and in some parts of China. So the last human, what you are seeing is was actually done in US, in Michigan University.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
So am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Sir, there is a question from participant. His question is like that: can we seed genetically engineered cells into the scaffolds?
No, so far we haven't used them for periodontium. For periodontal
Thank you.
regeneration, we have not used any genetically engineered cells with the scaffold.
Then another participant, he also want to know that DLP 3D printing, can we use PLA based material in a resin state and tweak its information to achieve curing the material at a specific UV wavelength? If
Which
yes, how can that be achieved for
which
a
material are you talking about? Sorry,
okay, sir. Sorry, sir.
which material are you talking about?
He is talking about DLP and PLA.
No, no. We
It's
commonly use the safest one is PCA.
okay, sir.
The safest one is PCL. That has been used most commonly.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your answer.
So PLA
And
is again hydrophobic.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Nothing is there. I can see. Thank you for your presentation, sir.
Okay, thank you
I
so
am
much.
Hirap from Royal Global Investments.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes, sir. Are you there? We need to do the introduction.
Hi. I'm the next speaker. I'm Bruce Ching Hong Chen.
Good morning, Dr. Bruce. We are waiting for Dr. Dinesh Bhatia.
Yeah.
He is supposed to give a. Kindly let me just check if he's there. He might be having some connectivity issue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, sorry to say you, he has lost his connection actually. Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. He is having some internet connectivity issues.
Thank you, everybody, for your patience. I think Dr. Bhatia is not able to connect. Dr. Bruce is there from Advanced Biomedical Technologies, and he has come up with quite a lot of experience in this field. So let's go with your presentation, Dr. Bruce.
Yep. All right. Can you share? I can use the share screen, but
Yeah. I'll just give you the permission. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, you are the presenter right now.
Okay. Hold on.
Yes, we can see your screen. Yeah, it's coming up.
Can you see the whole screen? Yep.
Yes, we can see your whole screen.
Okay. Now let's go. Yep. Thank you very much, and thank you, Dr. Dimao Zhou. Is my friend in Stanford University. He invited me to join the meeting between Taiwan and India, and it's my honor to present our progress about our topic. My company was founded in 2017, and right now we have some remarkable progress, especially for the 3D model. So today I want to share my data and some experience to all of you, and hope we can get some further collaboration. Today I want to introduce our topic. It's a patient-specific implant fabricated with medical device additive manufacturing platform, especially for craniofacial and for orthopedics application. I'm Bruce. I'm a founder of a company. Today, I have some outline. First of all, I will introduce a little bit about myself, why I want to do this. Another one, I will share some biodegradable implant market, and we will show some our product and our text and work right now. And other, we will discuss about our we so-called medical grade filament. It's also something like the polycarbonate. The last speaker talk about it, but we have get some certificate from US FDA. So right now we provide our filament to the global market. And also we will talk about our medical grade 3D printing system. We develop our 3D printer by ourselves, and we also doing the real medical grade all the biocompatibility testing regarding the QSR or ISO 3548, the GMP process. And finalize, I will show some. Right now we have several large animal study result and some historic, especially we focusing on bone graft and the mesh or some articular implant. I'm introduced by a little bit. My background is chemistry. I'm graduated from National Tsinghua University. It's our famous university in Taiwan. And before I'm going to have a company, I'm a researcher in the government funding research institute we call E3. Maybe you will know about it. And in 2012, I go to the United States to join a Stanford Research Center as a visiting scholar, and also we also have some experience with pharmaceutical in UCSF. Right now, I'm not only a staff or company leader, I'm also a adjunct assistant professor in Taiwan University. My research interest, I want to do the real tissue regeneration through the engineered method. So before I get into the 3D printing knowledge, I have some experience, especially for stem cell therapy. And we're familiar with several biomaterial. We use in the PLA, PLGA, PCL, and some bioceramics. So this is our previous my previous work. We finished some living cell sheet. It's a kind of a culture system. I made it with mesocellulose, and we can harvest soft tissue by some cell culture method. It's have several achievement and published in Biomaterial and in the Cardiovascular Journal article. And the second one, I also developed a new material and device, especially for orthopedics. So we're focusing on minimal invasive surgery, and we try to figure out a new combination. So during the job for in E3, I finished some orthopedics product and with a medical device scope. So that's why after I finished my visiting scholar journey from USA and go back to Taiwan. Right now, in 2017, I tried to figure out how can we do from the biomaterial scientist viewpoint and from the medical implant viewpoint. And we try to integrate with 3D printing technology with our previous biodegradable material experience. And another one for long term, we want to rebuild the real tissue regeneration method with additive manufacturing methodology. Is our future long goal. So you can check our website, and we have a short product launch and some news in our website. And as you know, in previous, not only academic, also got many from worldwide in US, in EU market. In Germany, we have a lot of focusing on the medical device. What's the next round? What's the next market? So we can see in the 3D printing, there's something might be happen for medical application, but which one will be first? So in our previous experience, we try to figure out maybe we can choose the dental, orthopedics, and trauma market, because that's most use a lot of biodegradable or biomaterial for this one. And as we know, when we using the several biomaterial, we need to think about biocompatibility, layer biofunctionality, and stability. And the most important, we need to consider about bioresorbability. So it's a very hard situation to use because, as you know, beyond the 3D printing technology, previously we made on biodegradable implant by using the injection molding or extrusion. Not only for the tubing, maybe we need to make some spinal cage or something else. And in injection molding model, we need to design the fixed modeling, and we need to take time to design the CAD/CAM file. And you know, when you're using a biodegradable material, the resin, the raw material is very, very expensive. Otherwise, when you have all the machine, when you have material, you need to think about environment control. As we know, for academic application, we can make up a mock-up, make a small sample in a bench. But when we do the real medical device product, we need to think about GMP, good manufacturing practice. So you need to think about how can we make our injection molding machine within a well-controlled environment. And otherwise, not only the cost issue, we need to think about the performance from the biodegradable product when you're using the injection molding. So in the biodegradable product, if you're using the injection molding, you need to think about the product life will be shorter after heat treatment. So the product, that's why the biodegradable implant is still not a major market for the medical implant. So in our observation, we check when we need to overcome the traditional solution in the past, because let's using the injection molding. So you limited with fuse back. You don't want to make too small and the few implant for patient. You need to using the mindset for mass production. Less controversial, and it's a conflict for medical device, because as you know, the medical device is not similar with commercial electronics product. It's a small quantity but have a different kinds of chip. So in our view, we try to integrate with more advanced solution with a perfect technology. So we binding our biomaterial experience and with our 3D printing systems. And we try to create a new era for customized production, especially for each patient. So it's a very interesting topic when I want to start my company to do this. So so for simple principle, you know, within the 3D printing methodology, you can do a lot of what you want to do through the STL file, through the DICOM file, or even through the KCAN. You can do it. So in my view, it's a time for several industry revolution right now. So it's our company variation. So let's talk about our core technology. We call the next additive manufacturing platform for the customized regeneration medicine. Our company, we provide a biomedical material, and we also do the customized medical implant development service. And we also have our intelligence proprietary additive manufacturing solution for those who want to looking for medical solution with 3D printing technology to realize a medical product, or with a more advanced research for the future tissue regeneration. It's our goal. And in our company right now, we have several business units, and we have our raw material production department. We make our medical grade filament, especially for FDN series. And the filament only used for medical implant purpose. As you can see in my slide, we produce our filament extruder, and we also building our self-owned 3D printer. All the machinery we modify. We are not by other. We don't use other companies' machine. We building the automation by ourselves. And in Taiwan, we are set up in our Hsinchu Science Park. It's a famous semiconductor science park. We have our own clean room, something like a GMP facility. All the requirement, not only the material, we also consider about the machinery and environment control. All of this, we try to have a gold standard with globalized regulatory level. So in our current status, our data was qualified for CE and also for US QSR requirement. For our right now, our business approach, for past 3 years, we finished our biomaterial production, especially for 3D printer. And right now, in the next 5 years, we try to build up a new platform for medical implant. For future, we try to engage with several task force, not only for a medical device like implant. We also try to engage with real tissue regeneration scholar, and we try to engage with pharmaceutical application with drug loading testing. And furthermore, something like we don't not meet yet. Yeah. So in our platform, we have a main 2 category. Right now, we provide a medical grade filament. We call them Mefila. I will show later. And we also provide a customization service for physician, for surgeon, for something like you in academic high achievement with your advanced research. So let's introduce about our Mefila. We so-called Mefila is a medical filament. Yeah, and we show our high performance extrusion system. The systems is a building by ourselves, and we loading the plastic resin into the extruder micro extrusion system, and it's well controlled by our self-build program. And after collection, we have testing all the biocompatibility testing, something like USP88, something else. And we got the US FDA register, and we have several MF master file within the US market. So right now, it's a very interesting. Right now, we deliver the product to the worldwide, and it's a very special features. When we branding with our customer, we can just take 200 grams for the initial for compounding, and our loss rate is quality is quite low, and our system is very verified with US FDA market, so we can help our customer to brand or compounding their spatial composition. Otherwise, our compounding method, we can choose several different ratio. It's not a pure polymer base. So as you can see in our raw material category for biodegradable parts, we provide a PCL series. So right now we have several FDA master file available right now, and we separate for four kinds of filament. It's a pure polycarbonate, or otherwise we blend with bioceramics with a different ratio. Why we want to do this? Because as we know, in human body, when you using for implant, for research or for medical implant, you have many choice to release a drug or to sustain the structure for the long-term implant. So we monitor and we mimic biostructure for the real bone environment. So we have a 4 series for the customer for application for medical application. And for another one, biodegradable polymer, we also apply with PRGA. As you know, PRGA, we also can extrusion for the filament, and we can use PRGA filament to produce some kinds of implant. Otherwise, we also have our non-degradable ones. We have a high density polyethylene. It's widely used for non-degradable application, and also we have a validate with our system. So right now we provide several kinds of filament, not only the biodegradable, and we also have deliver the filament in a non-degradable one. And very interesting, we have our compounding system with a customized domain additive. So we also accept to have a customized service for filament branding. For our previous experience, we can brand in the ceramics like Hydroxyapatite, Tricalcium, Phosphate, and also we can brand in with a metal powder, something like manganese or copper. And for the research for hot topic right now, we have several experience with branding with a graphene or graphene oxide also. And we also get some order from some pharmaceutical company. They want to embed it with some drug within the PCL series. Okay, it's our raw material application and some data for you. And right now we deliver the Mefila to worldwide, and we accept online order, and we can send a product to your office by the air mail. And you can see our product, we we will coil with a small quantity, and you can use FDN. Once you have your FDN series, it's all compatible. We can have you to printing out for your research purpose. And otherwise, we package in aluminum bake, and it's provide prevent degradation. So right now it's commercially available, and we can do the sterilization package for the preclinical clinical study for other use. And for physical and chemical research data, we also validate with our PCL or PCL ceramics filament with several distinct property. We validate with weight ratio, degradation, and we're also doing biocompatibility with cell testing, NTT assay. Most interesting, we also doing some biocompatibility testing within the subcutaneous implant within the red model. It's a 1 year's follow-up. So as you can see in the HE staining, the circle is a filament region. So the filament still here is not fully degraded. And you can see there have some near-connected tissue nearby within the, I don't think it's a much thicker, it's just a good connecting tissue to embed it with a filament. As you can see the gross image. So the filament showed a good biocompatibility after 1 year's implementation under the red skin. And after finish our filament introduction, I will show you our new advanced medical implant technology. How can we say? Because before we invent our 3D printer, we know how to make a real medical device. You need to know about the material, and you need to know about how to work our real medical implant. So you need to know how to run in the design cycle, design working flow, and you need to know about the GMP process. It's a very struggle because, as you know, for 3D printing medical implant, not only in USA, even in China or in EU, they are still ongoing right now. So right now, for real standard 3D printing implant product, they're still ongoing, and there are few real 3D printed medical device current in the market. So that's why I want to have some opportunity to engage with our medical device and 3D printing technology. So we have our proprietary platform, and we also have some future scope for tissue regeneration. Right now we have a focusing to model. So that's why we call a patient-specific medical implant. We're using our Mefila, and we're using our proprietary 3D printing model, and we can do in a printing model, verification, design, verification, and functional validation. And most important, we know how to use in the current FDA compliance impermeable medical device lifecycle management, including the risk management, including the GMP facility and all the procedure. So back to the market opportunity, we try to discover a new application, not only the filament. So we create a patient-specific model, a patient-specific medical implant with our local medical center. So we engage with orthopedic surgeon, and we also in collaboration with craniofacial surgeon. So with several market. So in our right now for our priority, we try to develop a bone graft first, and later we will process our mesh for the further application. So before we, as you know, for patient specific, you need to have some image file from the not only for CT scan or for MRI scan. after process with the software, we need to think about the microenvironment. So we also collaborate with a biomechanist to doing the final animal analysis. So we're using the real printing model to evaluate which kind of 3D printing model is best suitable for the medical implant. Otherwise, when we're doing the patient-specific medical implant development, we need to doing a quality assurance with a design cycle. So we following the current global standard comply with the FDA and CE, and we using our 3D our medical grade 3D printing system to as an auto machine. And all the process after not only the SOP, also including the raw material, including the device manufacturing process and product and packaging process. All the procedure will be need to qualify with ISO 3548. So in the table, you can see we not only doing the filament raw material testing, we also doing the short-term in vitro study and long-term in vivo study for medical device purpose. So right now I can show you some our current application and with a medical center in our local hospital. The first one, we engage with an orthopedic surgeon who is located in the North Taiwan. It's the biggest private practice hospital. And we try to observe osteochondrogenesis process. We deliver a knee joint model, and we implant our we implant the 3D printing medical device implant is printing with our Medfila. And you can see the procedure, we create a defect and we insert the 3D printing implant to the knee joint defect. After that, we will harvest and to check the regeneration phenomena. And after 1 year's harvesting, we can check for it's a shrink control. You can see our defect size and our implant insert. And after 1 year, we harvest for growth optimization. You can see a neo tissue was attached in was covered in our implant. And for the HE stand for histology, you can see our printing filament still here, and the vacuum was fulfilled with a connective tissue. So it's our printing block. And you can see for the real neo regeneration, you can see the image. You can see the very, very perfect neo tissue regeneration within the PCL by PCL filament structure. So that's our very exciting work with Medfila printing related implant, because as you know, we know the polycaprolactone is commercial available and it's a market ready product, but no one can guarantee we using our 3D printing and our we so-called medical filament to do the medical device development. Is very interesting. And sorry, it's wrong. Another one, we also show some, we're doing some abdominal closure, we call a herniation mesh. We also validate the mesh in the abdominal in the pig. It's a different animal study. And you can see we using the polyethylene mesh, and we compared to the commercial PE mesh. So after harvest, after 3 months post-op, and we're doing a histology in the with a sub-Q. You can see in our polyethylene mesh with our system made, and otherwise is a commercial available product. It's almost no difference between cell aggregation, the tissue regrowth, and we don't from the surgeon observation, they say there's no difference between the commercial and our system. And the next one, sorry. And the next one, we will show some original years reconstruction. We collaborate with another medical center we call Changren. It's a plastic surgery department. We validate with our medical grade filament for polyethylene and also with a PLG assistant. The medical center provide a STL model from the patient, and we convert into the STL from by ourselves. And we also printing the Untitled Ear by ourselves, and we're doing the cell viability testing and animal study. So you can see we using a commercial software to prepare the STL, and we doing the printing as we know. So it's a very interesting comparison. In the right side, you know that in 1999, the Nature group has published with the first auricular in the new mice. It's a human ear and the growth in the new mice. It's by tissue regeneration researcher Robert Inger and David Balcandy. And we try to rebuild such kinds of interesting studies. So we embedded with auricular ear with subcutaneous and into the abdominal subcutaneous. And you can see in our procedure, we going to using a pig model to evaluation the real auricular ear for evaluation for long-term implementation is our plastic surgery protocol. And otherwise, it's just a demo. We insert our printing ear in the abdominal or in the ear back. So after 6 months post-op, we can find, as compared with a commercial product, it's our printing product. It's almost the same, but it's different because in artificial ear, it's a injection molding or conventional molding with a PE polymer. It's also sterilized. It's a standard size. From our product, we're doing this one with a 3D printing technology, and we're doing with our PE filament, and we also doing the sterilization and verification. But most important is customized. It's a very, very interesting comparison because we try to know more, not only for a traditional medical device development cycle. We try to reimburse the new cycle for us. So as you can see, after 6 months of implementation, you can see in our MRI model, the structure still the same. It's not deformed as compared to the commercial product. And you can see in the growth observation, you can see some blood. It means the graft have a new vascularization, have a small vessel or microcapillary. And for histology assessment, you can see the real very, very near connecting tissue was a regrowth in the implant. So it's no difference compared to a commercial product. It's our observation. So for future, right now we show our animal study, and we try to figure out several concepts, not only for bone implant. We also try to have several approach to discover the medical device, and it's our future plan. And for the future product development, we try to engage with medical device manufacturer, and we can provide a total solution. Not only the raw material, we also can provide a printing service. And we need to think about the regulation barrier in a different region, in EU, in UK, in US, in South Asia, in India, everywhere have their self-own regulation and self consideration with a different region. That's why I think it's a good opportunity for us. So as you know, right now in medical device, you need to think about it's a roadmap when you want to doing a 3D printing medical device invention process. You need to think about what kinds of data you use. You use in the DICOM file or you use in the KCAM file, and what kinds of material you use. It's a very limitation for medical device because we need to think about qualification. We need to think about material biocompatibility and safety. So as compared to academic research, we need to more text series about testing and the performance issue. And you need to also think about when we use for the real product, what kind of surgery and what kind of application you want to deliver. So I think it's very interesting and it's very suitable for the future application. So right now, I think it's time to doing the medical device design cycle iteration, because for previously we need to think about all the design and all the performance data. We need to do in the iteration and more on the process, production process, and you need to do in the post surveillance for the final product. So for future, I think it's a more data-driven model. We can use a patient-specific implant from the individual patient. Maybe you can get your digital image last week from CT scan, and you can make sure your device size and your surgical plan with the surgeon. And after that, you can collect the real production data for your personal use. We call it digital twin. It's a new term from the MIT course sure in Massachusetts University. The digital manufacturing will be key manufacturing technology for future. So I think it's possible for real digitalized medical device implant. That's our dream focus. So in our future scope, we try to engage the new methodology like 3D printing, and we want to apply with our previous industry intelligence with a medical device. We so-called Bioscaffold, but I think it's like a medical implant. So when we combine both benefit from the 3D printing and the medical device implant, for the future, I think a more opportunity and a chance to combine with a drug, even with a living cell. That's why I introduced myself from the beginning. I'm also a researcher with cardiovascular regeneration study article. So my vision, we try to have some soft tissue and hard tissue, and with a new reconstruction method. So I think right now the barrier is still in the regulation, not in the technical. Okay. So let's remark is our final page. In our company, we provide a high performance medical biodegradable, non-degradable polymer ceramic filament. We call it Mefila. It's a global trademark right now, and we provide to in research grade, and also can provide in the medical grade. So that's a very interesting. Once you using the medical Mefila, you can using the filament into your clinical study, and you don't worry about quality about for the future medical device product realization. You don't want to redo your animal study again, or you don't want to redo your clinical study for patient. So right now we can help our customer to print a bioscaffold mesh or something irregular shape, And we have our proprietary 3D printing hybrid system. We develop whole system, and it's almost fitting for the GMP grade. And it's our printing service. We can talk with a clinical surgeon about their need, and we can help our customer to find how to make the printing possible. And we can dig with the clinical need. And further, when we get into our company, we will use a digital method and tool and doing the digital manufacturing, and help our customer to overcome the verification and validation in the different regulatory barrier. So that's our presentation final. We are Advanced Biomedical Technology. I hope to be your medical 3D printing application partner. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Questions?
Bhattiaji, some questions are there in chat box.
Excuse me? Sorry?
Okay. Sir,
What additive used
one
to
of
vary
our
the heating rates
participants,
of composite filaments? One query is that what additives can be used to vary the degradation rates of composite filaments?
Oh, you mean the composition? Sorry. The Wi-Fi connectivity is poor. I can hear you clear.
Box. If you see the chat, there's a for you. What additives can be used to vary the degradation of composite filaments?
Oh, yeah, we have our degradation data after 1.5 years, and we observe in the real time degradation buffer for our internal testing. We can show degradation data to the customer. It's very important for deliver the drug or deliver for the degradation. Yeah, we have testing, because for degradable medical device, you need to have in vitro data, and also you have approved some data for not only for animal. Yeah. Is that your answer? Is that your question?
The next question is from where we can procure and formulation in interchange to achieve a specific during wavelength.
I saw in the chat bar. Can I answer Dinku to your question can be used for skin injury for the chest bar? I think the answer is right, because not only for medical implant, we also can use for the cover. And another one questions, what's the size of a metal powder? Right now, we can use the powder from SLS. We got some metal powder is for 3D printing SLS model. We can combine compounding with metal powder into our polymer system. Yeah. So sorry about that. I just answered the question direct from chatbot. Yeah.
Does your company provide any material at the competition which
Right now, we have some different composition for different purpose, and we have several composition for orthopedics, for dentists, or for craniofacial. It's a different. And in the chat bar, we also have some data for mechanical property, for compression, for tensile. We have some elongation property testing. Yeah. But I think the most important, as you know, for 3D printing model, the hardware is not almost the same with a different printing structure. So we need to think about why we want to use a final element to do the best simulation for engineer purpose.
Yeah, next question is, yeah, can 3D printing be used in treatment of skin injuries?
Yeah. And the material is compatible. Sorry, can I repeat your question again? Yep.
Yeah, it is asking, can 3D printing be used?
Which kind of disease? I think right we're using for orthopedics, dental, skin disease.
Skin injuries, yes. Yes.
Yeah, sure. I think it can be used as a wound dressing, but for polycaprolectome, as you know, the polymer is a little bit soft compared to PLGA is too rigid. So, but I think it can be printing with a different structure to apply for the skin disease. Yeah.
What is the size of metal powder used?
What's the size of powder? Right now, we accept about 50 to 100 micron. 50 to 100 micron. Yeah.
Okay. And the next question is from Mr. Akash. Are materials compatible for CT PET and CT ultrasound scan?
I think compatible for CT and PET scan, but I don't think that can be shown in the ultra scan, because the polymer right now because polymer with the ceramics is a radial pad, so you can see the implant under the CT or PET scan, but I don't think you can show in the ultra scan. Just a few, yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor Chun, for
you.
your nice presentation and sharing your knowledge with the participants. We thank you so much. Now
Thank
we
you.
invite the next speaker.
Yep, bye.
Go ahead, video.
Now let's have the last speaker of this session, Dr. Y. Ravi Kumar. Dr. Kumar currently at National Institute of Technology and IT, Warangal. He obtained degree in Mechanical Engineering, ME in Computer Integrated Manufacturing, CIM, from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, PhD in Mechanical Engineering from Osmania University, Hyderabad, and postdoctoral research in 3D printing in Milwaukee School of Engineering, USA. He has supervised more than 30 MTech projects and produced 4 PhD and guiding 4 more PhD theses. He has published more than 60 research papers in national and international conferences and journals. He has established a World International Conference and journals. He has established World 3-class metal 3D printing facility at NIT Warangal under TEQIP third grant. He has conducted more than 15 training programs across India and trained around 900 participants in the area of 3D printing. He has received Young Engineer of the Year 2009 from the government of Andhra Pradesh and the Institute of Engineers, India. He has sponsored R&D projects worth of 1.24 crores rupees in the area of 3D printing. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Y. Ravi Kumar to present his speech on the topic 3D printing in complex oral and maxillofacial.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Am I audible? Yep. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank
You
you.
are audible, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your nice introduction. Say, I'm going to talk on 3D printing in complex oral and maxillofacial surgeries. So, yeah. So, and this is going to be the outline of my presentation, starting with medical 3D printing introduction. So, how do you establish a link between your medical data to the 3D printing system? And then we have experience with some of the doctors, or the surgeons in particular, craniofacial surgeons. Say, we have closely working with craniofacial surgeons. I'm going to talk one of the cases that I'm going to discuss is modeling and analysis of cranial implant for the craniofacial surgery, and how the 3D printing helpful during this surgery. And another case, I'm going to talk on the dental implantation by using 3D printing technology, how these models helpful for placing an implant at the right position, and then how this 3D printing is helpful in that direction. And third case is in mandibular distraction osteogenesis, the reconstruction of this oral maxillofacial surgery, and one cancerous case for helping how this technology helpful for say designing an implant for that cancerous patient. And then the fifth case I'm going to talk on say yeah, so that is going to be on the temporomandibular joint ankylosis called TMJ reconstruction. That's the fifth case. And the sixth case is the bacillus integrated implant for an accident case. And of course, the future direction is going to be the organ printing, as I'm going to give. But still, there are some challenges to be addressed in this organ printing come in a full-fledged way. That's what I planned for the presentation. So let me start with the introduction to the medical 3D printing. So, and if you see the applications of this 3D printing and various industries, say starts from consumer products. Yeah, so there's consumer products, which is of maximum share. It is going, that is around 21.8%. And further, you can have the second place goes to say, yeah, second place goes to motor vehicle industry, that is 18.6. That is automobile and automotive together. And of course, if you see the close figures of motor vehicle and the medical and dental together, it may be 16.4. That's the good contribution, the good figure it is showing. So, and of course, aerospace is around 10.2, and other industries, the shares was mentioned here. It's taken from the Hollis statistics. And if you see this among the medical applications, if you plot this graph between the expectations and the time, you may have other applications along with the medical applications. But whereas if you see the medical research, bioprinting, so bioprinting is nothing but printing tissues like a skin or complex organs, maybe as of now kidneys and bladders, but full it should be have some maturity in this towards the properties of the organs that you're going to get. Of course, nevertheless, it has started very recently. It's a technology triggered is a bioprinting or organ printing. And of course, if you see the dental, it's almost at the peak stage of the expectations. And then if you come down, actually, the orthopedic applications, that is almost touching to the productivity state, means which one can understand. Orthopedicians have been using this technology for quite a long time, and it's going to come to the productivity stage very soon. So with this background, so let us talk about the medical image processing, how you can nowadays these medical imaging processing is undergone tremendous developments after the computers, right? Say you have a CT, you have MRI, and then you have PET, and you have other endoscopic or kind of say angiogram, or you have a plenty of a medical examination or a diagnostic systems. You can start your journey of medical 3D printing with any one of these data. Need not be CT, MRI. So even it can be a PET, or it can be any other modality which you come across, but you bring it in a DICOM format. So that is more neutral format, which you can work on these, medical image processing tools. So once you start with acquiring the data from the patient, then you will come with a two-dimensional cross sections. Of course, you may have some scanners like a CBCT, which you can even collect a volumetric data also fine. Further, either it can be a two-dimensional cross sections, or it can be a volumetric data, or it should be further given some kind of supplementing this or giving life to this grayscale images by assigning mass properties, or the material properties, or the density, so on and so forth. So means why you want to do that. So why you want to do that is say a COVID patient is there, and then you might have taken the chest CT or MRI. So then which your medical image processing tools could be able to give you lungs as well as the ribs, and other you have spine, and you have other soft tissues, and other neurovascular structures also, then which you may be interested in a particular point of time at particular lungs. So then you can work on. So what I'm trying to say that you may use some tools, medical image processing tools, to come out with your region of interest, or the organ of interest, or a tissue of interest. So you can segregate them, segment them, and then your region grow, and then you can come out with your region of interest. So with these medical image processing techniques. So then what next? So then we need to sometimes you might have designed some prosthetic or implant. So then we need to generate a CAD model, further processing it into a CAD system, or a finite element analysis, or a kind of CFD analysis, depending on the application of that. So we need to do that, and then we need to even simulate the surgeries also. It's quite possible. Say you have designed some a ball joint for the femur bone, something like that. So then you want to check it, the fitment and other analysis. So then you can use the simulation tools to do this job, and then we can further have a 3D computer model, maybe knee or somewhere. So, and then further you can take this data into a conventional FEA kind of tools to do analysis, the stress analysis, or a fluid flow analysis, depending on your requirement. the department that is looking for, say, cardiac or a neuro department. So they may have a CFT analysis to perform, or orthopedician or oral maxillofacial. So you may use some FEM technology to check against the failure of that implant which you have designed and developed. And further, you can make a physical object through this 3D printing. That's the 3D printing for maybe for planning the surgery or a rehearsal of the surgery, or even implant design, prosthetic design, or a device, say, or a template. So you can use it for depending on your so the application. So then you can use this model for your application and then do validate the design. So this is what typically you do. So you put it in a say more organized way. Then you start with the CT, MRI, or any other medical diagnosing system, and take your data in a DICOM images, and further these DICOM images will be reconstructed in terms of a three-dimensional model. And as we know that the 3D printing, we need to generate these say layers or the contour data, and then you send it to the machine, the 3D printer, and then you can get your model. So maybe use it for planning, diagnosing, or implant, or device, or template, or depends on your required application. So then you can use this model. So along with the surgeon, then you can use this model. So then you have say several tools. Then why specific you need to have the physical model? So the physical models, definitely if you have some complex surgery, so then it will give you a lot of scope, say kind of a touch and feel, or the area of interest where he or she is working. So you have a better communication between the surgeon. Say I have an ophthalmologist is involved in the surgery for the placement of eyeball in a correct place, and maxillofacial surgeon is also involved in the surgery. So then in that case, so you can have a better communication between these say team of surgeons, and as well as you can educate the patient what you're going to do. And then of course it can be used for assisting the surgery, so for using as a diagnosing planning or a surgical planning. So he or she can very much plan the surgery, what kind of tools, what kind of instruments so they're supposed to carry during this real-time operation. So and then you can do a rehearsal, you can do a simulation. So you can do a lot of stuff on these models. So then you can come out with the best surgical procedure never before. So then you can create a customized prosthetics, so which is specific to that patient. So that is the beauty of this additive manufacturing or 3D printing. So you can customize, that is a patient specific, or even you can personalize. As for say you have some prosthetic, then you can even very well customize and personalize as for the need of the patient. So and then even you can accurately place the implant which you have designed, and then accurately we need to place that is vital in order to attain the vision of this patient and a normal vision. Say then we need to say use these physical models to the maximum extent. And of course the other speakers might have talked about all these applications, say right from the orthopedic surgeries, and then dental implants, cranioplasty, maxillofacial. I'm going to talk a few case studies on these areas. And then you have biomedical devices, biosensors, biomems devices, microfluidic devices, bioprocessing and bioseparation, augmented tangible molecular models, and research and education. You have plenty of applications of these, and of course organ printing also now. So then so let us talk first, like the craniofacial implants. So we have used Mimic software for say processing these images collected from the patient DICOM format. And our job is to design an implant here. So, and then the challenge here is the thickness of the skull is not uniform. So, and it will be varying across the profile. So, where we need to carefully design this implant, and which will have a correct fitment. Why? Because you have a cerebrospinal fluid. So that's cerebrospinal fluid should not leak. Means we need to carefully fix the fixation points onto this skull. So once you design your implant, so then how do you say design an implant? You have to take several measurements, and then we need to design an implant which will fit to the say correct position in such a way that the fluid will give uniform pressure onto the skull. So that's the intention here to make it. And further, so this should be reconstructed. The model should be reconstructed. So if you have some symmetric defects, means you can take the mirroring plane and then you can copy it. But if it is the beyond the say midline deformation, so then sometimes we need to do our own algorithms to come out the solution for this kind of situation, and then we need to even say analyze or simulate the fixation points, how many fixation points we need to, and then in such a way that the cerebrospinal fluid will give you the uniform pressure onto the skull. And then as we know that say a limited polymer biomaterials, so which can be 3D printed, and the metal side, so you may have titanium 6-4, and you have PMMA under a polymer group and the PEEK. So then we have analyzed for the properties that we are looking at, and then finally, if you closely observe this anatomy of the skull, so it is a kind of a sandwich structure, right? So you have outer bone, maybe a different thickness, maybe around 1 mm or so, and you have outer as different and inner as different thicknesses, maybe around 0.5, 0.6 around the outer bone, and the inner bone maybe around 1 mm. And in between you have a sandwich, the porous structure, so which is a lattice in nature. So then we need to design a lattice structure here, and that too we are going to fabricate it in a single go. So that's the beauty of this 3D printing, where you can otherwise conventionally it may not be possible or very difficult to get this kind of say structure, the anatomy to be printed through a conventional systems. And then how this technology is helpful for the placing an implant for the a patient which he requires an implant should be placed. So for that, so as we know that conventionally they will take a dental cast or the impression from the mouth of a patient, but the challenge here is so you have an inferior alveolar nerve, so which it say if he's erroneously drilling a hole, and there will be a chance of cutting this say nerve. So in that case, he or she has to have say right drill sizes and the right diameter of the drill, the depth or the length of the drill that he or she has to use, and the diameter, orientation. So you can have a lot of freedom here for implanting it than the conventional way of doing it. The conventional way of doing it is impression, but the nerve is inside the bone, so which you cannot get the information about the nerve in a conventional methods. So here, yeah. So then, so again, any medical 3D printing practice, which we need to start with the CT, MRI, and the DICOM format, and then the mimics they have their own formats to process this .mcs is the file for the 2D segmentation, and further doing the thresholding means which you can apply the Huntsfield numbers to segregate your bones of your interest or the region of interest or tissue of interest. So then do thresholding and do segmentation. You have plenty of tools to do this, and ultimately you convert as a .stl file that is very much needed for your 3D printing practice. So then once you have come out with an STL file of this mandible of this particular patient, so then you can go and sit with the doctor or the dentist to practice. So the conventional dental drills. So they are going to use it. So they can do a rehearsal, or they can do a mock surgery, and they can come out with the solutions or the so the size of the drill bit, the counter drill and the final drill, the length and the diameter, orientation, all that things they can do it on these models, and then finally during the surgery, so they can use that implants, the fabricated implants, and then they can fix it during the surgery. So this is where it can be helpful for an implantologist and a dental fraternity, so they can use this. And then even you can use this for say mandibular distraction osteogenesis or the reconstructive surgery. So what you're going to do it here is, so we need to say, you see this 8-year girl, so she had a problem which you can see the asymmetry of this patient. So then you can see the abnormal growth of the so the jaw bones, and then which we need to say again, you start with the medical data, the CT data, and then processing it in a the medical image processing tools like Mimic software, and then which we can reconstruct this, and then this is what it looks like, and then which what we can understand from this model is which we need to say reconstruct this bone, or in such a way that we can attain the symmetricity or the curvature or the form of the patient. So then which we need to do is we need to twist this bone, so in such a way that we can get a semicircular thing, which we need to twist it, the bone in that direction. And of course, if you closely see this, the difference between the ramus height from one side to other side. So, so we need to stretch this ramus bone, so in such a way that so we can attain a symmetric symmetricity in this bone reconstruction while doing the reconstruction or while regenerating this. So this is where you can see this is the initial condition, and then by using the distractor, so then you can come out with a kind of a conclusion saying that so what could be the as we know that the stretching of the bone, so and then that depends on the growth rate and other stuff, then which we can say either the distractor will be designed in such a way that so then which we can see, but still we can see some kind of this is during the transformation, and but still the bone growth, as we understood that the bone growth will be there up to the teenage, and then it's overcorrected. It should be done as a final surgery. So then there is one more case which we worked with one of the cancer patients, so for bone reconstruction. So this is basically called as the aminoblastic fibroma of mandible, which we can see this portion. So where we need to say remove this portion here, and which we need to augment, or which we need to now place an implant here. So then start with using these tools, and then you can very well take the mirroring option here. This is basically you can attain the symmetricity of this the cancer part how much we need to cut. And once you cut that, then how it can be augmented with the other side of the bone. So and then, so this is what where the implants are made. Even one can understand that this is going to be the lattice structure or the in order to have one idea is to lightweighting and as well as osseointegration of the tissue with the implant will be happening once you have this kind of a lattice structure. So then what we understood is like for implanting, so there will be several procedures to implant it, but we could not implant for this case, like because of this clearances, certifications, and other procedural things. And then what we get able to do is so then we could able to give them these models for conventional plates. They use it, but still they have done this conventional way of doing it, but still they approached us like say can we do surgery, but because it's not a successful surgery, so then we have anyway developed the implant, and then can it be implanted. So that's the thing, the situation. And then where even we have say successfully implanted in other case, this case is the TMJ ankylosis, like the temporomandibular joint ankylosis. So in this, which we can see, this patient is got a fusion of this TMJ joint. So once it got fused, so but you have other side is say survived one is okay. Then what we can do is so we can reconstruct the TMJ portion, say by using by taking help of other side, the mirroring it and retaining the geometry, form, dimensions, and other stuff. So then started with the say processing the data, and this is what during the processing of data, and then say first we need to align this by bringing forward this lower jaw, the mandible, so in tune with the maxilla, so which we need to say stretch forward. So how much we need to stretch forward, so all that calculations will be done on these biomodels, and one can understand say how much length it should be stretched in such a way that so you can attain say the alignment of this say the jaws. So that can be done on these biomodels, and then that is 3D printed one. And then further, so during the surgery, so one can use this. Maybe this is a distractor. So based on your previous calculations on the stuff which you have done on these biomodels, and exactly during the surgery, so it's going to be adopted, and these devices will be fixed say, and then it will be during the transformation, so it can be say, and then finally as I said, like which we need to say what you call this fusion. So we need to reconstruct this joint. So how do you get reconstructed is, so then again starting with the CT data of the patient, and further say processed, and then further taking the help of the survived one, and then design and further fabricated. This is a powder bed system. So titanium 64 is the material used to fabricate these models, and in order to avoid the metal to metal, and then we have gone for the say the biomaterial, the polymer and the metal, and got fused. And then this is the whole setup that's going to be say we have designed the template also for the guide for say using it for fixing the screws onto this say maxilla. So then Yeah, so this is what it's going to be. Then we need to fix this at the mandibular portion, and then this is on the this zygomatic arch, and this is the fossa or the disc or the joint between the lower jaw and upper jaw. And this is during the surgery where one can understand that. So this got fixed zygomatic arch with the screws, and this is an condyle portion which it got fixed here. So in this way, so which the 3D printing is helpful for designing and fabricating an complex surgery like a TMJ reconstruction. So that is a one. And then one we have operated one more case. This is an one accident case which he lost his say 4 teeth and along with the bone. So the problem with the conventional implants, so which it cannot be accommodated here, and more or less you don't have much of the bone support to implant and fixing those implants in the jawbone. But here, so then we need to come out with an indigenous design and development of this implant. So, and that we can see this is an asymmetric fracture. It's not a symmetric fracture. So then we need to have an indigenous implant to be designed and then fabricated, and it can be fixed. So which you can see. So there is a permanent implant. So this is fabricated again from the powder bed system. Titanium 64 is the material is used, and this is with supports. And after removing the supports and post-processing and sterilizing, so then it got implanted here, and this is the positioning of that implant. So in this way, where your standard implants are not worked out, so which we need to customize the implant as for the patient say condition. So then we need to design and fabricate them and then implant them. So in this way, where the 3D printing technology is quite impressive, these kind of situations where we don't have a conventional solutions to do this, and then 3D printing will come under the rescue, so you can perform under these situations. Say, so then what could be the future of this 3D printing? Say, so far we are discussing about the bone replacement or the bone substitutes by using some biomaterials. So through 3D printing, so you may be able to do it. So means there won't be much challenge involved so far, right? Because it may be the say functionality is wise. So if you take orthopedic or oral maxillofacial, there won't be much challenge involved towards the implants. Maybe a load carrying or not much functions involved in as far as bone and bone replacement or substitute is concerned. But if you are talking about the bioprinting or the organ printing, so then there should be a lot of challenges, but still people could able to manage some extent. Say what is about the organ printing or a bioprinting is all about. So then they will extract a living cell from our own body, and wherever you have a malfunctioning or problem, or it should be repaired or it should be replaced, then they may they may extract the living cell of their own patient, and then they will put it in incubator and adding the nutrients, proteins, and then cell cultivation basically, right? So it's going to be the cell cultivation, and then creating an environment where the cell will be grown, and then it will be further tested for the mechanical, physical, and bio properties, maybe through say bioreactors. So then you can do that job, and once you are comfortable and say, giving reasonable results, so then you can take those tissues or the cells, or then it can be even putting back into the patient in place of organ. So it may be the say right now, if you want to talk about the complex organs like the lungs or the heart or the liver or the kidney, so then definitely there will be a lot of challenge should be addressed. but the state of art, so far the people even able to say replace or bioprint say blooders, or say start with the simple organs or the tissues like say skin is the simplest one, so which people are able to say replace the skin, and as well as say blood vessels will be the next level of complexity of the organs. So then the blood vessels is successfully done, and of course bladder is also people could able to do it. Say biofabricate or print it, and then they could able to successfully implant it. But still, if you want to talk about the complex organs, but it may take say maybe another 10-15 years to come out with some kind of a maturity of this technology, and which it should address several challenges that a native organ and your bioprinted organs, how it can be close the gap between in terms of functionality. So that's going to be the challenge, but still a lot of promising developments are happening. So then we can expect, in near future, then we can achieve such kind of thing. So in order to summarize what I have done for the say 35 minutes or so, 40 minutes. So then we have started with say medical scanning technologies like CT, MRI, or any other scanning modalities, and then processing of that data, say, and then you can you could be able to make some virtual models and diagnostic models, pre-planning models, surgical models, and then customized implants, customized prosthetics, medical devices can be implantable or non-implantable, like tools, guides, templates, and supporting devices can be like arm braces or knee braces, and health monitoring devices also. You can very well adapt the 3D printing for health monitoring devices also, and tissue engineering, and finally the organ printing. So that's what we have discussed. And before closing my session, yeah, so then I would like to acknowledge a few people here also, which we have the collaboration with the surgeons, say Shekhar Reddy, Dr. Aditya Mohan from Panniya Dental Sciences and Research Center at Hyderabad. And for the our thanks are due to these dental cases, the cases from Narayana Dental College and Hospitals, Nellore, Dr. P. Mahesh. And I would like to acknowledge the DST and the SCRB financial support with the wide difference numbers for the financial support for this projects, a couple of projects. And then last but not the least, I would like to acknowledge my UG, PG, and the PhD scholars who involved directly or indirectly into this research work. So yeah, I think that's all from my side. So then I will be handing over.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ravi Kumar, for such a nice talk and explaining everything through case studies and other work you have been doing at NIT. So it's quite nice. And there are some questions from participants.
Sure.
One question is from Sri KG, who wants to know, would skin regeneration would help in getting rid of wrinkles in the near future?
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, but some noise regarding this skin generation. So then we can expect a lot of developments, like where we are talking about the wrinkles of that skin. Yes, definitely. So far it's addressing those kind of problems, but further in the future, which we can see a lot of maturity in that direction. So in terms of that skin printing, so with the wrinkles, yes, we can see a lot of developments may happen in very near future. Yes. Yeah.
The next question is from Abhishek Shetty, who says that adoption of 3D printing as problem-solving tool will still have some barriers for students. and you shared some beautiful case studies. How can biomedical and mechanical engineering students beginning who are coming out can start work on these kinds of problems?
Yeah, first of all, so as you already rightly said that it's going to be the interdisciplinary kind of a research. So then we have to say take the time of the doctors. So they may be busy with their routine surgeries. Yeah, first we need to have a good collaboration. We need to identify a right partner where he or she can spare some time with you to discuss their problems conventionally they could not able to resolve, and then you can identify those complex surgical say surgeries that they are facing it. So then you can give a solution and say then you can start with understanding the say medical imaging data. So nowadays you can have a good number of open source softwares also. You can start using them for processing of this data. So then first you understand say the medical data and the structure. So and then you can start working on that, and then further you need to have frequently visiting the surgeons to take up the cases, and then further the design while designing you the implant or maybe any device that they require. So definitely we have to have a collaboration to start with them, and then so you have to work in that way. It's not isolately, then we cannot work and then they cannot work, but we have to come together and then we have to solve the common problem. So we need to work on these medical image processing data and further designing skills in that direction, and further we need to gain a medical domain knowledge, and the terminology normally it is very tough to understand. Why? Because it's derived from Greek and Latin. So the words are very complex. So then we have to have some domain knowledge of medicine to understand the anatomy and the other conventional surgical procedures, how it can be, and then how best 3D printing is helpful for a complex or customized solutions to offer to the medical community. Yeah. So we need to, we have a good collaboration. In that way, we have to.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ravi Kumarji. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and experience with the participants. Please.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we have come to the end of today's session. For any participant who has a query, you can ask your query through email of the expert. And the PPT presentation, once we receive from the expert, we will share it with you. So kindly join again with us tomorrow at the 9:50 a.m. morning. Thank you.
Thank you.